Welcome again to another episode of From Our Perspective. I'm your boy Dion coming to you with another great episode. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in to us every week. Once again, I'm your boy Dion. And y'all know I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Captain Hater Q. How you doing?
Man, what to do what it is. You already know the best. It's your boy, Mr. Bell, aka say your name up on this. I might not with you to mine. What's going on, dear?
I'm going, it's going great, man. I will say nothing brings America together like sports.
That's
It
true.
don't matter what the sport is. And the American sports had me up at 8 o'clock on a Sunday to watch hockey. I don't even like hockey like that. I don't. But they had me up watching the men's gold medal game against Canada at 8 in the morning. Before we talk about the men, so we also gotta give a shout out to the women. They also was in the gold medal game against Canada as well, and they won 2-1. The men won 2-1. Unfortunately, I didn't watch the women's game. I was because I wasn't checking for the Winter Olympics that much. I tune in a little bit here and there, not checking for it. It is what it is. But on Saturday, scrolling TikTok, scrolling Twitter, I see like it's starting. People are hyping up the
Mm-hmm.
men's hockey game. It's like at 8 in the morning on Sunday. It's like shoot, patriotism was everywhere. Everybody's happy to be an American. Any other day, people hate being American sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
sports will bring people together, and it did again. So, like, I'm gonna get up and watch it, and it was a great game. Went to overtime. The U.S. beat Canada. We snatched hockey's their sport. We snatched from they won 2-1. But great game. Again, I'm not a hockey fan, but I enjoyed it. And God, I love how sports brings people together like no other. Even though it's a sport I don't care about, I cared about it because it was America showing off my patriotism. But it was great. How was your reaction to the Go game? Because I know you watched it too.
Yeah. Bad. I'll be up at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I already knew what it was. But like you said, the anticipation started the day before because all of the stuff you've seen on social media. But I got up. Let me say this first. You gave the Winter Olympics more airtime than I did because the first time I cut on the Winter Olympics was when I watched this hockey game. And no, that's no shade to all of them athletes or whatever. I think the thing with the Winter Olympics is a lot of the stuff is kind of we don't we don't understand it because we don't do it. It ain't in our regular watching habits of it
Mhm.
of whatever of the case may be. Because like you got to think about the Summer Olympics race track. We all don't ran. Everybody that ran a race on your whether it's on your street, people at school, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be, everybody that ran a race before, so you more inclined to understand that. Of course, basketball is doing the Summer Olympics. You understand that there's different swimming. People swim. Everybody, a lot of people, not everybody can swim,
They like to get in the pool.
but if people like to get in the pool, people like to go to the beach. It ain't the same thing. A pool and the beach ain't the same thing, but it's a bit in a body of water. I think the Summer Olympics is more relatable compared to the Winter Olympics. So a lot of us do not watch the Winter Olympics. The only thing I'm gonna watch in the Winter Olympics is the hockey, and the only one I'm gonna watch is if America gets to the go game.
Yeah.
I did. I woke up. I was up. I cut this thing on. I'm in the living room. I'm in the bedroom on the edge of the bed watching up. Like you know what I'm saying, getting hype as if I understand hockey. I don't even watch hockey that often. Besides Stanley Cup, you know what I mean. So to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, watch this game, and it was a good game. It wasn't. It didn't feel. It was low scoring,
Yeah.
but it never felt boring. This gold medal game between Canada and USA for a non-hockey watcher, this game never felt boring.
Nope.
It never felt like it dragged. It was very interesting. Now there was some opportunities missed by both teams, from what I can tell. I go to the
The 3-5 power play.
I was going to say the three. That was the first thing I was going to. That this
And
power play.
oh man.
Why no? The fact that you wasn't able to score, you got to give credit.
Yeah.
because it's like you know what I'm saying. We watch basketball, we see the differences in the defenses. When it went to that 3-5 power play, you see the the way that they guarded the net, the way all three players in the goalie guarded the net, and they surrounded him. It is if they didn't. It didn't feel as if they did that when it was 5-on-5, but when, I guess maybe our senses
You
was
got change.
heightened.
You got to change it up when it's
Yeah,
three or
switched up.
five.
So I was like, man, it felt like a good game because you saw the adjustments that was made. The first I guess they call them periods. See, I don't even know that's how much I don't know hockey. I feel like they call them periods. The first period, it felt like US was gonna get it. US was gonna win it all. The second period, I feel like it was up in the air. Even though it was one, you know what I'm saying, one dip, I feel like it was in the air, up in the air. That third period, I thought Canada was gonna get them.
Oh yeah.
Well, because I think Canada scored they go in the second period, but that third period, I just thought all the momentum went to Canada, and
Yeah.
I felt like it was wraps. I was just waiting for Canada to score. They go.
And Canada didn't have their best player was Sidney Crosby. We know him from from the NHL. He's one of the stars of the NHL. It's crazy though. I know Canada was very upset because again, that's their sport. They
Yeah.
created hockey, and we snatched their chain. They can't get their get back for another 4 years though.
Well, not if they do the Four Nations.
True, true.
The Four Nations still it gives you the same feel. I uh I was listening to a hockey analyst. He was. They asked him, "Is the Stanley Cup equal to, less than, or better than the gold medal?" And he said it's equal to because it's two different feelings. The you represent your country and you take the pride. Man, this was a Canadian talking. The pride of representing your country with the gold medal. It's all the difference with the Stanley Cup is it's these is your people, these is your teammates. Y'all don't been through so much throughout this whole year and y'all got over the hump. He said it's equal to, but for different reasons. And I thought that was I would have assumed the Stanley Cup would be higher because when you listen to NBA players, they talk about they be happy they won the Olympics. They don't downplay it, but they'll rather win
Yeah,
The NBA trophy.
yeah, it would. But yeah, it was great. Gotta
All of that.
gotta gotta give it for American pride. Shout out to both, not just the men, but the women as well. Gotta get credit where credit's due. The women also won 2-1 against Canada, but we got it. We got it. But let's go ahead and move on. Last week I had something I wanted to hate on. I forgot when we was on the episode, so I'm gonna hate on it now as we got a segment about it. But it was announced there will be an exhibition fight. Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson. And my first thought was, what is happened to the great sport of boxing, man? What the biggest draws is a former YouTuber,
Mm.
a 48-year-old Floyd Mayweather, and a 59-year-old Mike Tyson. Those are your draws in boxing. What has the sport of boxing gone to? Before we talk about the Floyd stuff, what was your reaction of this, what you call fake fight?
I'm not watching this. Not like I'm not watching this. I don't care. I don't feel. I get it. It's an exhibition. I don't want to see Floyd and Mike Tyson in an exhibition. The reason that the Tyson versus Jake Paul was exciting was because you was hoping that Tyson forgot where he was at and go and knock bruh out. That's the only reason that fight was worth watching, and I didn't want to watch that. Actually, I think I watched a couple minutes of it. Floyd versus Tyson, I'm not watching. I don't care. It's not going to pop up on my TV. It's going to be some college basketball or something else on that's going to be more interesting than this.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I'm going to watch the weekend.
that game's on April. I mean, it's the game. That fight's on April 25th, so you probably got to
College,
find something else.
college basketball be over. NBA will be going on.
Yeah, you got to
I,
find something
I
today.
would rather watch. Let me tell you something. My Pacers can't score over 80 points. I would rather watch them in the Brooklyn Nets or the Washington Wizards.
Golly.
Do not care. Not watching this.
Yeah, I
For
was
who and for what?
I was greatly upset when I saw that. I was like, we hyping it, and there's boxers out there. They know. I don't know. I personally believe boxing needs to be under one governing body like the UFC
That's what it
because
is.
people are running from people. People are able to run from people. People are also, and people are scared to lose.
Mhm.
Floyd kind of ruined that. Being undefeated is a great thing, but there's the all-time greats. Ali got like 4 losses, I think, 4 or 5 losses. Obviously, Mike Tyson has a couple losses. Uh, Joe Frazier got some. The greats, they got losses. There's a couple people that I think what one other person is undefeated.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but yeah, there is.
Yeah, he's like 45 or 48 and 0, something like that. And then
Yeah,
Floyd is 50 and 0. And then we got some, but most people got somebody with like 100 and some 100 to 2 record. Like there's people with that type of record out there. Being undefeated is not the be all end all, but some of these boxers they're scared to lose. They be running from great fights. They greedy. Some one person wants more money than others, which I can understand. Okay, we both draws like, split down the middle with some one guy wants more than the other, causes fights to not happen. But we got draws like exhibition fights are the big deal nowadays, and it's killing the sport of boxing.
so the first thing, like you said, with it being so many different governing bodies and so many different belts, there's no consistency. There's no who's up next. You can't really know who's up next because who's up next might be fighting for this belt instead of this belt because they in the same count as the person with the WBC championship. So they're not gonna fight for that belt because they in the same count. I think, like you said, it would help if they was under the one governing body. It would also help if there was more, if boxing knew how to push their stars, even if you're gonna have different governing bodies, if they knew how to actually push their stars, we wouldn't still be looking at talking about Floyd and Mike Tyson for doing an exhibition at the both of them being over 45. If boxing knew how to push their current stars, like Carissa Shields had a fight, right?
Hmm.
I ain't know nothing about that fight till the day before.
Yep.
Knew nothing about that fight to the weigh-in when all the drama and all that happened at the weigh-in.
But you should be knowing about these fights well in advance. Like
I was gonna say that fight, we should have knew about that fight a month ago.
when Floyd fought Conor McGregor, we knew about that months in advance. They did the promotional stuff leading up to it. Same with Manny Pacquiao. We'll talk about that. Floyd, the first one, they did months promotional. Like I don't know why they don't do that no more.
Floyd knew how to do it.
Yeah.
And then you had, you know what I'm saying? I'm drawing a blank on his name, but managed Mike Tyson. He knew how to sell a fight. They knew how to sell. You had to be able to sell the fight. You got to get people to buy these. You know what I'm saying? You used to have to buy pay per views. That's one of the other reasons why it kind of fell off too, because not you ain't buying as many pay per views or whatever. Place Netflix is getting
Most
off.
of the stuff is on streaming services. It should be
I was getting ready
easy.
to say it should be easier, but ain't no pressure to build the fight because you ain't got where the streaming site already getting their numbers. So ain't nobody got bad as pay per view. If boxing was better at building their stars and those stars being in the news or being on ESPN or being on Fox Sports or whatever the case may be, I think boxing would be in a better situation.
It would be.
But if you ain't gonna fix the one governing body, you need to fix being able to build your stars. If you ain't gonna be able to build your stars, you need to go to one governing body. You can't have it both ways because it ain't working.
Yeah. Well, speaking of lack of stars, also I just want to point out, we got a lack of stars, but also if you have a job, keep it because clearly there's got to be a recession incoming. Because Floyd Mayweather, now after he announced his fight with Mike Tyson, announced that he is coming out of retirement and he's gonna risk losing that O in his 50-0 record. So either there's a recession coming, or it is around that time of the year with that tax man coming to your door, he probably owe a shit ton of taxes. Because there's no way in your right mind that you should be coming out of retirement to risk losing that O. When I heard that, I'm like, who is he going to fight to risk that O? And then he announced on Saturday, September 19th, he's going to fight Manny Pacquiao again. The first time was past both their primes. This
Mm-hmm.
time, both of them in their late 40s. So Manny must, taxman coming. They both need some bread. Unfortunately, I'll be watching this. I'm probably not going to watch the Mike Tyson fight. but I'll be watching this because at least they're somewhat around the same age.
Well, unfortunately, though.
I hate it though, because like, why I should not be watching this, but fortunately, I am going to because again, they're around the same age. It should be a decent fight. But if it's like any other Floyd match that I've seen when he was an active boxer, he's gonna be a great defender, get a little counter punch in this. Nobody's gonna get knocked out. They're gonna do the whole 12 rounds, and Floyd gonna be the winner by unanimous decision. That's how Floyd's last 10 or so fights was. He's just gonna dance around, counter punch, and win by points.
Floyd ain't a fighter. Floyd's a boxer. Floyd
Yep.
is also a businessman. 50 Cent going through his own situations now. But at one time or another, he was going back and forth with Floyd Money Mayweather. And he kept saying Floyd's money gonna run out. He kept saying it. Floyd, that money gonna run out. You look at the lifestyle he lived and the way he was making the majority of his money was boxing. He's no longer boxing. The promotion stuff you doing ain't
He's
from
making some
50
money,
from
especially when we said the boxing ain't that good.
I was gonna say from 50's words, the promotion you doing ain't bringing in the money like the boxing. So you gotta go out here and get this bread. Maybe 50's right about this situation. Floyd money got a little tight. He did just buy his grandson some apartment building somewhere, and so his grandson could be, you know, living, taking care of generational wealth or whatever the case may be. You said, unfortunately, you're gonna be watching this fight.
Yep.
It's in February right now, so my opinions might change, but I don't feel like I'm gonna watch this nigga because we already know the outcome.
Yeah, I said it too, didn't I? Yep.
Pacquiao, it said that Pacquiao needs the bread. It's been said that. Pacquiao need the bread. He gonna take the dive for Floyd. I'm not watching this. I'm gonna watch it with 10, 7 rounds, 17 rounds of them play fighting.
It's tough though because these are your draws. We can't. I know Tank said he's retired. We'll see. Deontay Wilder, he fell off. Tyson Fury said he might come back. We don't know. Anthony Joshua, he had that unfortunate situation that happened to him. He said he's retired. There's no draws. There's no
Like,
draws.
they gotta build stars. That's
So
what it is. Boxing gotta build stars. But it's on it's also because there's different governing bodies, it's on the actual boxers to promote and build themselves up.
yeah.
And they managers and whatever the case may be. They not doing a job.
Mhm.
Because right now, can you name the world heavyweight champion?
Nope.
I ain't know who the world heavyweight champion was since Tyson Fury. And look how long ago that was. I have no clue. So, and then I think Terrence Crawford is what he gonna do? We don't even know what he gonna do. Cause
He
like he
he
said,
he claimed he's retired,
I was gonna
but
say he said he's retired.
he said he'd come out for a bag, but he claimed he's retired. But you gotta drop a bag for him to come out. But
And,
who's
and
gonna do
then
that?
Tank's retired because Tank
Uh,
got other Tank got other
legal
problems.
issue. He got legal
I was
issues.
gonna say Tank got other problems. So but I hate to beat the dead horse. It's on the boxers and the managers, and maybe even not just them. ESPN got they hands in, and I think Fox Sports do. One of them got their hands in boxing. Maybe they need to start promoting boxing or whatever the case may be. Because they had when Max Kellerman was there, they had a show on boxing. That show's no longer there. They need to get with the media partners to help build this back up.
You are not wrong. And I don't know what they're gonna do, but right now we got late 40-year-olds fighting, and that's what we got to look forward to. We ain't got no other fight to look forward to except for Floyd and Mike and Floyd and Manny Pacquiao, which is an official fight. 50-0 is on the line. That's the only thing exciting that 50-0 is on the line. But like I said, like you said, they probably just gonna tap each other for 12 rounds and Floyd gonna win.
That's it. No more, no less. It's not. This is real. They saying it's a real fight, but it's really an exhibition too.
Yeah, they just need the money.
It's
They'll take.
it's a WWE wrestling. It's already scripted.
Yeah,
I'm
Uncle
saying
Phil.
it's already scripted.
Crazy. Well, hopefully boxing gets fixed one of these days. But let's go ahead and move on to spring football, the UFL. We have a Louisville team, so I'll probably try to get out there to watch a game. But they have dropped their rules. Q has yet to hear about these new rules, so I'm about to list some of these rules, and I want your reaction to about what these rules are, and if maybe the NFL should adopt some of these. Because the NFL did adopt the well, it was XFL at the time. They
Mm-hmm.
adopted the kickoff rule. So here's some rules here. Number one, a 60 plus yard field goal is worth 4 points.
I don't know if I like it because they starting to do that in the NFL all the time.
Yeah.
But I bet I let's see what they do in the UFL. I like it. When I first heard it, when you first read it, I liked it. But the more I think about it, is they do that in the NFL all the time. So maybe we should do 70 plus yards for
Yeah.
4 points. I
Yeah.
get the UFL is not the same level of kickers, so I get why they doing it.
Yeah. 1 foot inbounds equals a catch. They're gonna do the college rule.
I love that.
Yeah. Red zone penalties revert to half the distance to the goal. So no holding, or defense holding to do half the distance to the goal, which is interesting. Only in the red zone.
Okay,
The tush push is eliminated. No tush push.
I think that should be done that should be done in the NFL this year.
Yeah. This one is very interesting, and I'm just going ahead and point out I'm not a fan of this because there's a situation that could happen to force you to punt it. But it says no punting once you get inside your opponent's 50-yard line. And also a caveat, now this is what I read. I don't know how true it is, but what I read is say if you get past the 50-yard line, you get a penalty to pass to get you back past in yours, you still can't punt it if you don't.
But it could be 4th and 30, and you still got to go for it.
Yeah, that's how I understood that. Now we'll see if it's like that. It doesn't. We haven't seen it that often where something like that happens, but it
Yeah.
does happen where you get it inside the 50, penalties or whatever pushes you to the back to your 50-yard line.
So let's say, you know what I'm saying, 1st and 10 at the 1st and 10 as your opponent's 49, you get a 10 yard, you get a holding penalty. So you gotta go back to your 49. Or yeah, is that 49? Whatever the case may
No,
be.
you'll go to
You go to
30.
your side. You
You
go to
go to
your
your 39. You'll go to your
your
39.
39. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. So then it'll be 2nd and 20. Oh, I mean 1st and 20. And then you got 4 plays.
And if you don't get it, if you don't get close, you got to punt it.
I actually like it. It makes you go for it. It makes them go for it. I'm drawing it out in my head right there. I actually like that idea because it gives more action to the game than a punt.
Okay.
Now, the chances of them actually converting is it does take defensive strategy out because in fact you're trying to pin them deep, and
Mhm.
if you don't if you don't even make a completion, they at the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
But it also works in reverse. If they already at the 50-yard line, they get 3 yards on their next play. They in the same boat as you.
Hmm.
So I actually do like it. It gives more action to the game.
Yeah.
It takes away the punt, but it does take away defensive strategy. So if you're a defensive person, this it's a bad rule for you.
Yeah. Because most of the time you think, okay, we at 349, we don't get no yards. You know what? We got a good defense. Let's put them inside they five and see what we
Mm-hmm.
can do. We probably can get the ball back in good position. Takes that out the game. Next rule in overtime, it'll be three alternating attempts per team from the 5-yard line. So it's kind of like college at overtime. I think starting like overtime three, but from the five.
Yeah, college is overtime 3, but from the 5,
Yep.
I don't like that one.
Yeah.
I don't
Uh,
like.
Rule number seven, and this is what you so you score a touchdown. This is what you can do after you score a touchdown. For 1 point, you can kick from the 33-yard line, which is the normal field goal. For 2 points, you get the ball on the 2-yard line, go for two. For 3 points, you get the ball on the 8-yard line.
They did something similar to that before. So yeah, I like that rule.
So
I,
yeah,
so
those
it
are
makes it so
the
where a game ain't never really over.
yep. So those are the UFL rules. Any of these rules you think? I mean, obviously we feel like the tush push is probably going to happen. Any of these rules you think the NFL should adopt? Because I feel like they might. They probably will. They obviously they watched. They adopted the kickoff rule.
They gonna do the touch push. I don't think they're ever move changing the scoring. I don't know if the NFL would ever actually do that
Yeah.
because changing the scoring it changes a bunch of record books and whatever the case may be. Because like the NBA had a pushback when they added the 3 point line. You know the old heads hate. They still to this day hate the 3 point line. So you doing that in the NFL and the NFL's away is a big popular sport at this time. It's gonna be a lot of pushback. I don't know if they would ever do like if you know what I'm saying kick from make a field goal more than 60 yards, they're gonna change it to 4 points or whatever the case may be. And then after a point situation, it feels too gimmicky for the NFL. If you go from the 8, you get 3 points. It feels too gimmicky. Now I do hate that. I wish the, the UFL got a rule instead of like an onside kick, you get like 4th and 20 or whatever the case may be. The
Yeah.
NFL needs to adopt something like that because of the simple fact a onside kick is a if the other team knows it's coming, it's a conclusion already.
Yeah.
We already know what the case may be. You gonna get this ball. It's not enough skill in the kicking game to get an onside kick. They need to come up with a different rule so then the teams actually have an opportunity to come back.
Yep, I agree. But the UFL is starting Louisville's first game. That's who I care about. The Louisville Kings. Our first game is week one, March 27th against the Birmingham Stallions. Don't know
Yep.
if I'll be at that game, but I'll be watching it on TV at the very minimum. So I'm excited for the UFL. I'm actually going to try to watch it a little bit. There's a lot of hype for some reason. I mean, I guess part of the reason is we got a team in Louisville. So for us, there's a little bit more hype than normal for spring football, but I definitely plan on checking in for a little bit.
Yeah. Nah. I watched a little bit last. I watched more of the previous year. I watched a little bit less last year, but it gives you a break. It gives you something else because it gives like me, it gives me a little break from the NBA. It gives me something else to watch. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. This is not on the rundown, but I don't know if you've seen it. MLB's spring training has been going on,
Yeah, my
and
resolution.
they have this thing called automatic balls and strikes.
Yeah,
I love it. Q.
yeah. I seen it. They've been doing it in the minors. I ain't gonna lie. My son got MLB on his Xbox, and my player, we was in the minors for a little bit, so I was real familiar with with the calls because he was in the game as well. So it's cool. I think it's a good thing. Then they have it with the replay as well. You know, it just hey, what the computer say?
Yep. So if for those that don't know, there is ABS, the automatic ball strike. What you can do now is the team gets two challenges. The only three people that can challenge a call from the umpire, and that's the catcher, the batter, and the pitcher. If one of them doesn't like the call that the umpire ball a strike, they get two. They have to immediately tap their helmet and say they want to review. And it's basically computerized review that dictates that shows you, and it's down to the T if
Mm-hmm.
the pitch was a ball or a strike. You get two. If you if you get it right, you get to keep it. If you get it wrong, you lose it. You get two for the whole game. I love it. Some people are like not too much fans of it because I guess they old school. I just feel like the umpires are going to hate it because I feel like of all the officials in sports, the referees in basketball, the referees, the officials in the NFL, I feel like MLB has the most. ego. The umps in baseball have the biggest egos of all the major sports. So I feel like they probably hate it.
No, you ain't lying. The MLB sometimes I feel like not all of them, not all of them, but some of them feel like, man, they here to see me too. So let me put on the show.
So I'm curious how and so there's been some umps in the spring training where they was wrong 5 times. They team changed it, and that's a bad look. That's a bad look. So
That is a bad look.
so we'll see how it goes. I'm actually excited for it, but let's go ahead and shift gears to the NBA. We're just checking in. Oh no, I've been seeing the whole Phil Jackson 40 before 20 losses thing, and we got a couple teams that have gotten there. 3 teams to be exact. We got the Detroit Pistons, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the San Antonio Spurs. So those 3 teams have had 40 wins before they got to 20 losses. Everybody else has at least 20 losses, but we're just checking in, getting close to that time. How you feeling about the NBA season? We're getting close to that time. 40 wins, 20 losses, those 3 teams. People are saying so it's gonna be one of those 3 teams that win it all.
Okay, so Oklahoma, let me tell you, man, we was me and my son yesterday. We was watching Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Detroit Pistons, and I was looking at the Oklahoma City, and I was like, "There's no Shea, there's no J Dub, there's no Chet, there's no Alex Caruso, there's no damn, I forgot who it was. They were 6 players down, 6 players down. Then 2 more players got hurt during the course of the game, and they still almost beat the Detroit Pistons.
Uh-huh.
I want to say Detroit won by 3. If on top of my head, it was either 3 or 5, something like that. Oklahoma City is deep. If they are in the game versus the number 1 team in the East without their top 6 rotational players, Oklahoma City is scary. The only It's starting to feel like the only team that can beat Oklahoma City is Wemby and the Spurs, and the reason being is because Wemby hates Chet. So Wemby puts it all. He lay it all on the line. And then he got the rest of the Spurs hating Oklahoma City Thunder. So it has the potential to turn into a rivalry. The difference is I don't know if he would do it because I don't know if Chet feel the same way. I feel like he did at one point. And he kind of let it go because he got a ring now. So to him, it's kind of like, man, you got to
Yep.
catch up. But I feel like that was a bad showing for Detroit as far as title contention because you're playing Oklahoma Oklahoma City Thunder's teams. They're 7th through 12th men, and then some two-way dudes. Which imagine we know Oklahoma City, they got a bunch of players and they got a bunch of people developing or whatever the case may be. Because Sam Presti has a abundance of draft picks and he know how to use them. But you were struggling with Oklahoma City 7th through 12th man and some two-way players, and Cade was playing, Durham was playing. Only person y'all missing was Beef Stew because he had a little situation on the court. That's a bad sign for the Detroit Pistons. It's a bad, but yeah, it's a bad sign for the East in general.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously the West has been maybe the best team, the best conference for what, the last 20 years?
Yeah, the West, you know what I'm saying. Besides, the West has been, like you said, the most dominant. I can't never. Hell, Dion, I honestly think it goes more than 20. To be honest with you, I can't think of when the last time I really thought the East was have more depth as far as good teams.
Yeah, the East, they've always they seem like they've been a one-team conference for the longest time, even going
Yeah,
back to the Jordan days.
I don't really. And then the East, like I said, I think the East look deeper now because simple fact, a lot of the teams is around each other as far as quality. Because like the West, it's Oklahoma City and San Antonio. And then you get a distant third with the Denver, and then you get a distant fourth with Minnesota. I
Yeah.
don't care what the Lakers record show. I
They're
don't
not a
care.
good team. They're not a good team.
They're not a good team. Their record says one thing, but they're not a good team. So, like I said, you got the top 2, you got Denver, then a little more space, then you got Minnesota. the East is more connected because of simple fact, New York, you do, you don't know what they really gonna do when it comes to playoff time because they already got to the conference finals and lost. You got Boston Celtics with Jason Tatum coming back. You don't know what he's going to. Is he going to attempt to be himself, or is he going to come in and let Jaylen Brown continue to carry the team like he was? Like I
Mhm.
said, you just watch Detroit. Detroit, Kay Cunningham is an MVP candidate, just like Jaylen Brown. But you had a bad showing versus Oklahoma City. That game shouldn't have been that close.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And then you got other teams like the Magic. They can get hot in the playoffs because of the simple fact they got a bunch of quality players. They might not have that one guy, but they have a bunch of good quality players. They got a bunch of fringe all stars. So yeah, now the East looks, and then I'm sorry, I forgot about Cleveland.
Yeah. Yep.
You feel me? I forgot about Cleveland, and they the one that did something at the deadline to make their team
Yeah.
better.
James Harden did mess up his hand though. But before we move on to college basketball, Atlanta, they got a new promotional thing. I want your reaction to it. They promoting Magic City.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, it's a place that houses midnight ballerinas. It has some nice wings. I haven't been to the establishment. If I ever go to the establishment, I will be trying those lemon pepper wings. But kind of crazy that Atlanta, I mean, it is Atlanta, the Atlanta Hawks, they're having a Magic City night. The hoodie looks nice, I will say. But what is your reaction to them promoting a midnight ballerina spot? Even though it's according to the press report, a cultural institution.
But it is though. It is a cultural institution. It is very cultural for the hip hop community. You call them, he called them midnight ballerinas. That
That's
was
what
the best, most poetic way I've ever heard, that being referred to. But it is a staple in the culture. Everybody goes there, whatever the case may be. And it's smart for Atlanta, for the Hawks to show interest to that community, to the hip hop or the urban community. So I think it's smarter than that. Well, they ain't gotta have the midnight. They ain't gotta have the what you call them, midnight
midnight
ballerina.
ballerinas.
They ain't gotta have them on the court. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying. So, but they can promote the establishment and everybody. I know they say they talked about Lou Will's gonna come through and talk about the wings and whatever the case may be. I think it's smart of them.
Yep. Also they got hoodies. Ti will be performing at halftime, and there will be a game against the Orlando Magic. Whoever made that decision, Loki needs a raise because that's
It was,
perfect. You
it was smart,
on the
smart
Magic
decision.
City, we are playing the Magic. Ti at halftime, but
What
interesting. If I
what's
had,
he
it's
at?
on a Monday. If it was on a weekend, I would. If it was on a weekend and I had the money, I'm actually in save mode now. If I had the money on the weekend, I would consider driving down there and maybe checking out Magic City night. But let's go ahead and slide to
Hold
college
on, hold on,
basketball
hold on. You said Ti performed.
at halftime. Yeah,
Uh, what song you think he performing? You think it's something that recently been coming out? Or because
he gonna perform his old stuff.
okay, you don't think I don't know. That let him know joint.
Yeah,
It's
let him know it's fire. It's less
let
fire.
let him know it's fire. He got some other fire too, but I guess we let that rap a different part. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
We'll see. But let's go ahead and slide to college basketball first. Let's go ahead and talk about women. Let's talk about the ladies. Basically, checking up. They're getting close to conference championship season. But my question for you, Q, I don't know if you got the rankings set up. I don't know if you got it in your mind. I'm gonna ask you for the men's as well. So, but I want your basically at the conference championship final four for women's basketball.
Ooh, okay. The first team, it's not okay. It's gonna sound like a homer, but I don't watch them play a lot, so it's gonna sound like a homer. But I really do think U of L women have the potential to make the Final Four.
I agree. I agree. They in my final four as well.
And it's not me being a homer, and it's not because I don't, I've seen them play and I watch them play or whatever the
They,
case may
they
be.
blasted Georgia Tech today. I watched that game.
They take care of business versus the teams they supposed to, and then we had South Carolina at the Yum Center, and we almost had it, whatever the case may be. I know we had a game versus UConn. It was not the same outcome,
Mhm.
but so I'm going with U of L. That being said, I saw what UConn did to U of L, and if I feel like U of L is a Final Four team, it would be disrespectful for me not to include UConn.
Hmm.
UConn is UConn. Is they? I feel like they're the favorite.
Hmm.
I don't even, you know me, I don't do the gambling thing, but if you put up the odds right now, UConn is the favorite to win the women's NCAA championship.
They're
So,
29, so yeah.
so, oh, this might be Captain Hater moment, but I thought Texas was gonna be better than they was,
Hmm.
and I also thought UK was gonna be better than what they was.
They was a little bit, but they fell off a little bit from my
Texas,
perspective.
Texas and UK feel like they both fell off to me from what they was in the early in the season because UK beat U of L early in the year. Um, so if you had asked me at the beginning of the season, I would have said Texas, but I'm gonna go with LSU. I'm gonna go with UConn. I'm gonna go with U of L. I don't want to go with Iowa State because they got damn. Now I'm drawing a blank on her name, but she put them buckets up. Damn, I gotta find out her name. But
Yeah. I know you're talking about. I forgot her name too, but she does get buckets. So while you looking for her, I'm gonna give mine. Obviously, it is a homer. I'm gonna say Louisville, but I think Louisville is actually a solid team. I got Louisville, UConn, South Carolina, and LSU. That's who I think will be the in the final four. And I'm not betting against UConn, Gino. I'm sorry. I got him winning it all again, but it's not gonna be easy. He ain't gonna he's not running through the competition like he did 10 years ago, where they won like 100 and some games in a row. That happened this year. South Carolina's good. Texas, they potentially are good if they can figure it out. LSU's good. UCLA is 27-1. They're good. Louisville's good. Duke's. There's a lot of good teams in women's college basketball this year. So it's not a guarantee. Is UConn the favorite? Absolutely. But I can see a potential of a bunch of teams. I looking at the rankings and thinking about the games that I have watched, I think about 8 teams can win it all.
ooh, okay, I think 8 teams can make the final four. I really only think one team can win it all. Audi Crooks,
That's what it is.
CROOKS. So, but yeah, but I'm gonna go with Duke
All right.
as my fourth team. So I'm gonna go UConn, Louisville, Duke, LSU.
All right. So let's go ahead and switch gears to the men's. I give mine first since you gave yours women's first. And I can't go home this time. I watched a lot of Louisville games. I think we're a Sweet 16 team at best. I will be upset if we don't make it to the Sweet 16, but if we make it past Sweet 16, I would be surprised. So I'm not gonna put Louisville, but I am gonna put Duke, Michigan, um, is on my mind. It was right, it was on the tip of my tongue. Duke, Michigan, Kansas, and Houston.
Okay, so I agree with Duke and Michigan because they played this past weekend. It didn't look like a national championship game, especially because it was in
I
Washington.
said, I said, I don't know why I said, I meant UConn. I said,
Okay,
I meant UConn. I don't know why I said Kansas. I meant UConn.
okay, but yeah, Duke, Duke and Michigan this past weekend when they played up in Washington D.C., it looked like a national championship game. It looked like they own a collision course for a rematch of them two in the national championship game. So I'm going Duke and Michigan. You said Kansas. You think Peterson gonna play enough?
I'm hoping so. I'm
Okay.
hoping so.
Okay. I'm gonna go with UConn as well. And the reason I'm gonna go with UConn is because in fact, like I wanted to see they played St. John's this past weekend. I wanted to see it, but
Blasted too, boy.
I
Ooh.
was gonna say I got caught up watching the NBA. I mean, yeah, watching the NBA, so I didn't get to turn it over. And then I was ready to do a pie. Shout out to Mr. Burglass himself. Matter of fact, today's his birthday. Shout out Will. He said, "Man, you ain't missed nothing."
Last 17 minutes for St. John's. Golly.
That he said, bro, they in the second quarter. You got only got like 30 something. I
Yeah.
mean, St. John's only got 30 something. He said, bro, you ain't missed nothing. You got 60.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay,
The first
but
game they played too was a close game, and this time it wasn't. It was not a close game.
so I do like your Houston pick, but I am gonna switch it up and I'm gonna go Arizona.
Yeah.
But I did watch Iowa State this week as well. Iowa State wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Like the women,
Uh-oh. Hold on. Oh man, what's going on here?
yeah, North Carolina beat Duke on the last second shot. So North Carolina even has the potential to go to win it all. So like I said, I feel like it's 8 teams that could potentially win it all on the men's side.
Yeah, yeah. On the men's side, it's a lot. I mean, said Duke, Arizona, Michigan, those three look great. Michigan was they was destroying people early in the year. Yeah, and like just to clarify again, I said Kansas, I meant UConn. So my final four is Duke, Michigan, Houston, and UConn. Again, can't be a homer too much because I just think Louisville's a Sweet 16 team. We are such a boom and bust on the offense. I can't really give us a final four appearance right now. I would hope so. I'm gonna have them in my bracket. I'm gonna have them in my bracket. Just saying. But you're right. There's a lot of teams that can win it, and I'm
We
excited
didn't
for.
even mention Florida. We
Yeah,
didn't
we
even
didn't.
mention Florida.
Yeah, we didn't mention Florida. Purdue, they was the number one team coming into the year. You said Iowa State, Gonzaga, they're always good, but will they be battle tested? But before we end the pod, there has been some discourse. We talked about the team. We gave them their flowers a little bit last episode, but there's been some discourse about Miami of Ohio. They're in the MAC, not making the tournament if they don't win their conference tournament. If people that don't know, if you win your conference tournament, it's an automatic bid to you're
Mm-hmm.
in there. Now, most of the time, those smaller conference, now I don't consider MAC that small of a conference. We're talking about what conference? The Ohio Valley. Oh,
Yeah,
that conference with like Murray State, Moorhead, the Robert Morris. Those teams, you got to win your conference. And but the MAC, I don't even know why there's a discourse. I feel like if they get bounced in the first round of that conference tournament, I feel like they should be in the 64 team NCAA tournament. But there's been some discourse that they might not make it if they don't win their conference tournament, even though that they may potentially finish the season undefeated. Where do you stand on that?
they haven't. Let's be real. They schedule is soft. They haven't played nobody. That's why I was like, we talked about it last week. If they make it, as long as they make it to their conference championship game and it's their tournament, they gonna make the. They should definitely make the round the tournament. If they lose in the first round, I understand why people saying it's shaky because they don't have that one win you could point to. So I think they do need to at least make it to the final. I feel like if they make it to the final and they lose it, they should still get in.
Mhm.
But you know how it is. The big conferences ain't gonna want they gonna complain about them getting in because they're gonna say they ain't playing nobody, which is true.
Yes, yeah, yeah, bro. But yeah, so college basketball, we're coming close to March Madness. I am very excited. This is we got a couple days left in February. Next month is March. We know what March Madness is all about. I assume we will probably have a bracket like we did last year. So be on the lookout and listen for that. We'll be having a bracket. Hopefully, I can do some damage this year, unlike I did last year. But I'm looking forward to it. That'll do it for this episode of From Our Perspective. Again, boxing, please get better. The state of boxing is in shambles. Please get better. Thank you again for listening. I'm your boy Dion. Please like, please subscribe. Hit that link in the bio. We got merch. Leave a comment section Tell us you guys' Final Four for the men and or women this year. Who you think will be in the Final Four? Please and thank you. But thank you again for joining us. I'm your boy Dion. Q, go ahead, take us home.
Man, you already know the bad. It's your boy, Mr. Bell, aka say your name upon this pod. Might not with you, but my